Good morning, internets. It is a beautiful morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have the sun is shining right now. We're supposed to have rain later today. Right this minute, it is 59 degrees, and I started out when I left the house with 35 miles battery-only range in my 2012 Chevy Volt Premium. So thank you so much for everybody for sending me your numbers as the winter went on. And now that it is springtime, I realize those of you in the Northeast don't realize it's springtime because you're getting pummeled by storms today. Hope everybody stays safe. But now that it's springtime, temperatures are going to be warming up eventually. And I'm interested to see how everybody's range starts to recover as the temperature improves or increases over time. So keep sending me that data. I really enjoy it. I had a viewer request to talk about the BMW i3. The BMW i3 is the electric Beamer made available to the public just a couple of years ago, and I did actually get to check one of these out even before I bought the Chevy Volt. Now, it was never on my list of possibles because it's prohibitively expensive. The new one starts at $45,000, which is a lot, and given the range for it, now this has an electric only range of right up and around, depending on how you drive it, like between 80 and 100 miles. All models do come, it is an option for you to order a 2-cylinder gas engine range extender. So it would be a very similar setup to this, where it has a little 2-cylinder engine. Now, what I have in here is a 4, but a little 2-cylinder motor to help extend the range, and that extends it, with a range of up to 180 miles. And that's a perfectly reasonable range for most of the things you would want to do. For the same amount of money, I have more car in the Volt. Actually, much less money than the BMW i3. I have more car in the Volt, and not quite double the range, but right this second, I've got 30 miles available on my battery. I have 340 miles available with my gas generator, and that gives me a total range. I'm looking at it right now on my dash of 370 miles ready is what it says right there. That is a much more reasonable range for me, and I don't know, the BMW it lacks that potential factor that I was looking for in an electric car or in a hybrid of any kind when it came to more efficient vehicles. I live in a really big state with a lot of really open space, and it's important for me to be able to drive more than 200 miles at a stretch without stopping, as you guys will soon find out next week, because I actually have to drive from Las Vegas to Reno. It's about a 9-hour trip. This time, of course, fingers crossed that everything will be drama-free and there won't be any more Volt issues on the way up there. I don't anticipate any issues, but I will be taking this thing all the way to Reno and then all the way back again and making a bunch of content about that, but I digress. The BMW i3 does have some really cool design features. If you ever get a chance to sit on one or check them out, look it up on the internet. They have this very clean, minimalistic interior. This dashboard, in the one that I was able to check out, and I believe in all of them, was this curved wooden plank, and I've never seen wood used like that in a modern vehicle. Now, obviously, there is, I've seen wood burl on the, wood veneer on the inside of really high-end luxury cars. The inside of Bentley and Rolls-Royce, they love theirs. Morgan still makes their frames out of wood for some reason. But you don't see wood, especially not real wood, in anything lower than a Lincoln, really. And this BMW i3 it's not meant to be a luxury car. So to see wood used as one of the building materials for that, I thought was kind of neat. So I was sitting in it, I was looking at it, I was like, this thing is really, really cool. And I like the seating position in that car very much. I sat very upright in that car. It felt like sitting in almost like a desk chair, an office chair, whereas in this, it's a bucket seat. I have my feet out in front of me. And that's a perfectly fine seating position too. Luckily, I had the dead pedal on the left to support my left leg, but in the BMW, I really like being completely upright and being able to move my legs in that way. I've got bad knees, and it's hard to get in and out of cars. And I found it extremely easy to get in and out of that car. So that, as I was getting, whenever I was trying on cars or checking out cars, I would get in the car, get out of the car, get in the car, get out of the car, get in the car, twist, get out of the car, twist, get in the car, grab a bag, get in the, you know what I mean? Like grabbing stuff to see if it was something that I could do repeatedly every day. There were I've had cars where it was an issue before. My 06 Passat was a wonderful car, beautiful, and the interior of it was gorgeous. The seats in that car were, I must admit, despite the fact that they weren't heated, and this one is, were much nicer than the seats in this, much more comfortable, very cushy, but it was very difficult for me to get over. There was this big lump of padding on either side. It was very difficult for me to like swing my leg out and lift myself over that, especially if I had a lot of errands to run in the day and I was in and out of the car a bunch. That was very sore. So I really liked how easy it was to get in and out of the i3. That was very cool. I like a hatchback. It's a hatchback. That's very cool. There's some things about it that are maybe a little less cool, like the lackluster range. Nothing super exciting about that. I do like the idea, and as much as I would love to go all EV, I like the idea of the extended range. And I do live in a city, and 99% of my, maybe 95% of my time is spent in the city, and I'm never going to drive more than 100 miles in a day. So there are days when I drive more than 100 miles and never leave Las Vegas, because I have that much to do and that many places to be. That does happen. So I would be coming right up on the range in the i3. That would be the right choice for me. Most people don't drive as much as I do. Most people don't have that much of a commute. You know, every day I'm driving no less than 60 miles. So that's, you know, two-thirds of the range right there in the i3. And if you have anything else to do during the day, that can be a problem. If you live in a suburb somewhere and you find yourself not really leaving your little ecosystem in your suburb, like you have people who live in Summerlin, which is a housing development out here, and you know, technically they live in Las Vegas, but they'll never leave their little neighborhood. They have all the right strip malls, they have all the right grocery stores nearby. There's no reason to really go out and have a really big excursion across town very often, unless you have something very specific that you need to get or something very specific that you need to do. So in that case, the i3 range makes a lot of sense. But I was looking around the interior of that car, and it was very much the opposite of the interior of my Volt. It's very busy on this interior. There's a lot of body lines in here. I've got a lot of buttons in the dash. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. The i3, not so much. They had a little infotainment screen and a very clean looking dash, and then the dashboard itself was this piece of wood. And I was reading about that, since we did have a viewer request about, you know, why the car is that way. And one of the things that BMW did was they tried to have these social design features that would be calming, that they felt would be soothing to the driver, to encourage you to slow down, because that would improve your range. And so it's supposed to be Zen-inspired look to sort of calm you down, so that you drive a little more calm down, a little more chill, not racing to the next red light, not mashing on the accelerator all the time and cornering it really hard. It's supposed to chill you out and put you in a Zen space so you can get maximum battery range, which I thought was an interesting approach. I don't know if it works, but it's kind of cool. If there's anybody on this channel that has an i3, anybody watching this right now, I would really love to know your thoughts on it. What do you think about the car? How's it suiting your needs? If you've had it for more than a year, how's it stood up over that year? How does it handle in different kinds of weather? I know Car and Driver specifically said that when they tested it, that it cornered with all of the enthusiasm and ability of a phone booth. That the shape of the car, you know, it's square, it's tall, and it's on little tires. It's not on a very big footprint. The contact patch is pretty small, so when they cornered it, they said it felt like cornering a phone booth, which doesn't sound very BMW to me. BMW is supposed to be cars for drivers, and they take a lot of pride in that. So it's weird for me to hear that BMW produced a car that doesn't corner well. I mean, these are the guys who made the M series. Those are driver cars, you know? So, like, for their electric car to come out, and it's, I don't know. And it's a European car, too. And so for the cornering to be so terrible in Europe, where there's a lot of cobblestone streets, there's a lot of really tight turns and very sharp corners to have to deal with, you'd think you'd want something that could deal with it, but it just doesn't. And unfortunately, a lot of people feel the same way. They only move a few hundred of those a month in America. So I know that it's not selling especially well here. They're going to do some things to improve. Apparently the new 2018 one has better range. It's a better 0 to 60. The old one had a 6.6 0 to 60. The new one's supposed to have a 6.3 0 to 60. They didn't improve it a whole hell of a lot. 0.3 of a second on the 0 to 60 it's good. It's better than not, I guess. And they are putting bigger tires on it, wider tires on it. Please don't confuse that with wide tires, wider tires than the old one had. And that should hopefully help improve handling a little bit. And, you know, that's about what I can have to say about the BMW i3. Now, all that having been said, is a very cool looking car. It's quirky, it's funky, it's neat, I like it, it's got personality. I like the look of the thing. It's a funky little hatchback, and you guys know I love funky little hatchbacks. I do. I love a lot of different cars. I love wagons and hatchbacks especially. They have a special place in my heart. I drive a little funky hatchback. We're in one right now. And I dig that. I really do. I liked how comfortable it was to sit in. I did not have an opportunity to drive one, but I would really love to someday. And I'll try to, if I ever get a chance to have a test drive on one of those things, I'll try to bring my cameras and take you guys along for the ride. And I like the Zen design features that they put on it. I don't know that it would necessarily keep me more calm, but it was very different than being in a normal car. There was something sort of special and different feeling about it because it had that wooden dash piece. You know, this wasn't just veneer. Like, it's a slab of wood that's curved over the dash. It's very cool. Look it up. And, you know, they have a couple of different finishes available, and they all look really neat. I liked those things. I liked the seating position in that car. I liked how comfortable the seats were. And, you know, those things are very much BMW, to have something with a good driver seating position and with comfortable seats. That's right there in line with their company culture. So, you know, it was good to see those things. I'm really interested to see if the changes that they've made on the new 2018 BMW i3 are going to be enough to get it over this sales slump that it has here, because moving just a few hundred units a month in America that's not great sales. So if things don't change and the new i3 starts selling better than the old i3 did, I don't imagine that they're going to keep making it available in America at all, or that BMW is going to keep this model available if they're going to keep pouring money into it. I don't really know. I don't see it really if they're not making money on it, if they're not selling all that well. But hey, time will tell. And I think that's where we're going to leave it today. So thank you so much for sending in that suggestion. And people send me suggestions for things to make videos about, and I always try to get to them whenever I can. And I've got a couple more in the works, but please, if there's anything you want to hear me talk about or you guys want to discuss with me, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will do my best to get a video made about it as soon as possible. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. This channel is subscriber driven, and it means a lot to me that you guys take the time to engage with me and bring me thoughtful questions, and that you care what I have to say about stuff. So that's nice. I like that. So thank you guys so much for that. So if there's anything you want to see talked about, please throw it down in the comments below. If this is your first time on the channel and you've enjoyed it, thanks so much for being here, and please consider subscribing right over here. Here's some other videos I think you'll enjoy right down here. My name is Katherine with EVs of Nevada. I hope everybody has a really great Wednesday. Please remember to like, subscribe, and smile.